You've been IG since 2011, and you do a lot of internal investigations. In other words, did some particular employee at the Fed not do their job? Is that correct?
Yes.
About how many of those you think you've done?
Well, in terms of investigations of potential misconduct or wrongdoing, we have typically had a running average of about 60 or 70 of those. Obviously, the pandemic...
Is that total? 60 or 70 a year?
No, at any point in time.
Okay.
Many of them are closed. New ones come in through our hotline, which we open up, but that's typically a rough gauge for how many investigations we have pending.
Since you've been there in 2011, again, I'm talking internal investigations, would 500 sound right?
I'd have to look into it. I don't want to give you a number.
No, I'm not going to hold you to it. Wasn't many. Is it more? You think it's more than 500?
I would like to look into it and get you an exact number.
Okay. In what percentage of the cases, just ballpark, do you find wrongdoing?
Again, it would be a wild guess, and I'm not comfortable giving one to you, but we can certainly look into that and develop those numbers for you.
Frankly, I would have thought you'd would have that before you came today. We think it's more than half?
No, I would not think so.
More than a quarter?
What's up, America? Your proud Liberty Trigger is back with another truth pack breakdown that the mainstream media would rather you ignore. Today, we're reacting to a Senate hearing clip where Senator John Kennedy is questioning the Inspector General of the Federal Reserve. And folks, it's worse than you think. So grab your coffee, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's talk about government accountability, financial corruption, and why the American people deserve real answers.
More than a quarter?
That's where I'm uncomfortable.
Well, is it happen frequently that you find wrongdoing or infrequently?
It's not infrequent.
It's not infrequent? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And when you find wrongdoing, are the people who committed the wrongdoing, according to your report, fired?
Sometimes.
Okay. What percentage are fired?
Again, sir, I would like to get you a specific number if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, I think if you could get us that number, and perhaps we could do this again. Because I think people have the right to know that. I don't want to pick on the Federal Reserve. I just want to treat them like everybody else. And my sense is, and I think your numbers can prove or disprove this, but my sense is that it is easier to divorce your spouse than get fired at the Federal Reserve. And if that's the case, we're entitled to know that. It's a lot of money over there. And that's not a criticism of anybody. And tell me again about your salary. It's the average of what?
It's the average of both the salary and the bonus that is attributed to the other individuals who are similarly situated in terms of the organizational structure, which for me is the division director level. So there are 12 other individuals, and it's the average of their salary plus bonus.
Okay. So there are about 13 of you, and your salary is set on the average of the 13.
That is the case for all DFE-IGs. That's in the IG Act as the formula to be used.
I'm just asking, are the others set that way too?
The other
the 12 other ones whose salaries are used to get your salary?
I'm not aware of how those are set,
Okay.
are established.
Okay. And do you get a bonus?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do the others get a bonus?
Yes, that's part of that average that I mentioned.
Okay. Do all 12 of the others get a bonus?
I don't know the answer to that.
Do they get a bonus when they say inflation is transitory and it's not? Do they still get their bonus?
I don't have the answer to that.
Okay. How do we get that information?
Requested from the Federal Reserve folks.
How about we call the IG? Can you get it for us?
IG should not be in the position of getting information to turn over if we're not otherwise engaged in an audit or evaluation or investigation.
I know you're in the, if I could have 30 more seconds. I know you're in the process of looking at the bank failures, and I don't want you to, I'm not trying to put you on the spot because you don't know yet. But, you know, I find two things ironic. Maybe irony is the wrong wrong word to use, but as a result of these well, strike that. It seems that ever since the Great Recession, we've been very concerned, as we should be, about banks that are too big to fail. Big is dangerous. I'm not against big. I'm against dumb. So, but if you have an institution that is really, really big and it does something dumb, it hurts a lot of people. Nobody ever goes to jail, but that's a separate story. But it looks to me like, as a result of these recent failures, that our big banks are getting bigger. And I find that ironic. Again, maybe the wrong word. I don't know if you're going to look at that in your studies.
Well, Senator, that strikes me as being a straight-ahead policy issue. The Federal Reserve Board decides what rules of engagement for the supervision of banks at different sizes, tailoring, all of those are supervisory, policy-based decisions, and the IGs are prohibited from getting involved in overseeing policy.
Senator Warren and I may disagree with this, but we disagree a lot, but we still like each other. But see, if I ask Mr. Barr that question, I think the answer I'm going to get is, look, the problem with the bank failures is the management did dumb things, and they were incompetent. And yes, some of my regulators were not as proactive as they should have been, but it's Trump's fault. Trump ain't behind.
Now, Senator Kennedy asked a very simple question. How many internal investigations have taken place since 2011? And what does the Inspector General, the guy whose full-time job is to monitor corruption, say? I don't know. I'd have to look into it. I can't give an estimate. Excuse me? You've been in the same job for over a decade, but can't even ballpark how many internal investigations you've handled? These aren't trick questions. This is basic record keeping. If regular Americans did this at work, they'd be fired the same day. But at the Federal Reserve, apparently, knowing your own job details is optional. Then Senator Kennedy asks, how many employees found guilty of wrongdoing actually get fired? Again, no answer. Suddenly, everything is uncertain, not comfortable guessing, or needs to be checked. This is what happens when government becomes untouchable and has no fear of consequences. In this country, you and I lose our jobs if we mess up, but bureaucrats get promoted, keep bonuses, and retire with pensions, even when they fail the American people. Kennedy even said something hilarious, but true. It's easier to divorce your spouse than get fired at the Federal Reserve. And he's right. These agencies have become sacred castles, protected not by performance, but by political insulation. Kennedy then asks about salary and bonuses, and you can literally see the discomfort rise. The IG says he doesn't receive a bonus, but his salary is based on the average salary plus bonus of 12 other directors. Yet he doesn't know how their bonuses are decided. You're telling me top-ranking Federal Reserve officials can completely fail on inflation, mislead Americans by calling it transitory, cost families their savings and buying power, and still walk home with fat bonuses funded by you? If a private business did this, it would be called fraud. Then we get into recent bank failures. And Kennedy points out what we're all seeing. Big banks are getting even bigger. They're consolidating power, wealth, and influence, while American citizens get inflation, higher interest rates, and wiped out savings. This isn't capitalism. This is government-protected corporate monarchy. They get safety nets. You get consequences. Their bad decisions get bailed out. Your bad decisions get foreclosed. And what happens next? They blame management, blame regulators, blame policy, and even blame Trump, because apparently he is responsible for every banking decision ever made across the country. Kennedy mentions a deal so good that anyone could have profited, because taxpayers covered 80% of potential losses. Let me repeat that. Heavy checkmark corporations take the upside. Heavy checkmark taxpayers take the downside. That's not a free market. That's rigged finance, protected by elite insiders and approved behind closed doors. When they win, they keep the money. When they lose, you pay for it. And we're supposed to pretend this is normal? This Senate exchange revealed a huge truth. There is no accountability at the Federal Reserve. Government watchdogs don't know basic facts. Failures are rewarded, not punished. My fellow patriots, this is why we must. Heavy checkmark, demand transparency. Heavy checkmark, stop financial elitism. Heavy checkmark, protect American taxpayers. Heavy checkmark, elect leaders who refuse to bow to the bureaucratic machine. And let me be crystal clear. The American people are not the ATM for government incompetence. If you believe in accountability, if you stand for truth, if you're tired of the political class playing Monopoly with your money, smash that like button, comment accountability now, and share this video. Because sunshine is the best disinfectant, and it's time to shine a spotlight on corruption. God bless you, God bless freedom, and God bless the United States of America. I'll see you in the next video.